G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and watching my content. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to entertain you as we talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. And yes, the Rugby World Cup is upon us, and yes, it wouldn't be the greatest sporting event in the world without referee issues. So let's dial back a little bit today, okay? Let's dial back to earlier today, Japan versus Chile. Referee Nick Berry was giving out yellow cards left and right for the most average, the most abysmal infringements in the game. I think referee was under the impression, right? Nick Berry was under the impression that any sort of doubt should just be referred to the bunker, and he didn't have to really make any decision on the field. So there was literally yellow cards given out for everything, okay? And now we dial forward a little bit to Fiji versus Wales. Referee Matthew Carley, you guys had him for the Japan game during the Pacific Nations Cups game, and he's very, very average, to be honest. This was just abysmal performance by him. Wales was blatantly giving away penalties, really ill discipline, right in front of the try line. He took 4 penalties to get a warning, right in front of their own try lines to get a warning. And then finally the yellow card was issued a bit later. Matthew Carley resets the warning, allowing Wales another further 3 penalties before issuing another warning for a yellow card, okay? And it's just blows my mind how he could allow so many penalties and then just let it reset. That's not the rule for rugby. That's not how rugby warnings operates. It does not reset. You might get 1. Sometimes the referee will give you 1, and then to give you a reminder that, hey, you are on a penalty warning. And nowadays, most referees, like Nika Ashumakeli from Georgia, if you were under a warning and then you get a yellow card, the warning does not reset. You just get another yellow card. Matthew Carley not only just like let it reset, but it allowed Wales with 3 more penalties before issuing another warning for another yellow card. It was just really, really, really bad by Matthew Carley. That was a very critical moment as well when Fiji was staging a comeback, putting a lot of pressure on the Welsh defense, and Matthew Carley just like, yep, the yellow card's been reset, and you just carried on. Yeah, really, really bad. Now, a lot of you guys are probably going to be wondering about the yellow card against Fiji for collapsing the maul, whereas, it looked really bad. The Wales was under so much pressure, giving away so many penalties, no yellow card, and then immediately on the other end, Fiji was yellow carded for collapsing the maul. Now that is actually the right decision, believe it or not. In a cynical situation like that, I thought the referee actually could have considered for penalty try there as well. So because the Welsh had a maul that went from just inside the Fijian 22 all the way to like 5 meters before the try line. So he marched on for about 20 meters, and then he was sacked by the Fijian defender, and I think that was definitely a yellow card there. There was no question. It looked pretty bad, like a little bit unfair, but that is actually a yellow card. And the referee, again, should probably have looked at that for a penalty try. He didn't. So that's, I think that's not the right process there as well. Matthew Carley, he should have looked at for a potential penalty try, as the maul was pretty dominant, marching forward for quite a big distance. There was a few other places where I thought was a little bit bizarre. When Fiji was chasing down the deficit, they were going for the scrum. So Fijians wanted to get the scrum dominance and get, not just creating space, but trying to get the scrum penalty. And, it tells you how far Fiji has developed, to go from struggling with scrummages and trying to get scrum penalties to win the match. And there was a scrum, around 75 minutes into the game, Fijian was marching forward, and they were pretty close to the try line. Matthew Carley, instead of letting the scrum march forward for a potential try or even consider a penalty try, he just gives a penalty, which I thought was really, really bad decision by the referee. It like saved Wales, essentially. The scrum was marching forward. It didn't stop. The ball was firmly in control at the back of number 8. And it should be a penalty try. And potentially another yellow card, but at least the penalty try. But the Carly just, not only like, if not a penalty try, that he should allow the scrum to march all the way into the end zone and give Fiji an opportunity to go for a try. Because the scrum hasn't been lost. The ball wasn't dead. Or at least allowing, need to let Fiji play the advantage. No, just pulled up and called for a reset. Penalty. No, called for a penalty, didn't call for a reset. Could just, stop the game and go back for penalties. That saved Wales. That was really bad. In my opinion, that was way worse than the yellow cards not giving out, because that should have been a penalty try for Fiji. So, really, I mean, Matthew Carley, probably one of the worst referees at the World Cup. It's really unfortunate that he was managing this game. It is what it is, and some of these referees just, when they're under pressure, you can't tell the referee to make the right decisions every time. But when these referees are under pressure, it's just, some of the referees just simply can't make the right decisions under pressure. And I feel like Carly is really lacking a little bit in that regards. Yeah. But anyway, the ending was quite one of the most heart-pounding endings I have seen in Rugby World Cup for a very long time, especially for me stuck in Pool C with the Wallabies, with Wales and Fiji in the pool. This was a very important end to the how the pool is going to stand. Now that Wales has been in Fiji, it's very unlikely that they're going to get eliminated. So yeah, it's going to be either Wallabies or Fiji is going to go out in the pool stage, which is really unfortunate in my opinion. So yeah, the ending was quite I think Fiji really did so well to get themselves back into this game. They were down 2 tries. Sorry, yeah, they were down 2 tries? 3, I think it was 2. Wait, let me just have a look at the point summary and then we'll know. Yeah, they were down 3 tries with about 10 minutes left and scoring 2 tries within 10 minutes, and then had an opportunity right at the end to run 80 meters full length field to score a try. They worked. They went from, it was actually like the stupidest thing you've ever seen as well. So Fiji got the kickoff. The final scored a try. They got a kickoff. They had, they had basically, one opportunity. They had like a minute to run the full length of the field to score a try, right? For some reason, Lomani decided to do a box kick out of the 22, and he was literally getting booed. The entire stadium was just like, what? Like, couldn't believe what they saw. He just literally box kicked the ball away with a minute left on the clock. Thankfully, Liam Williams is also an idiot, right? He gets the ball. William thought, hey, with a minute left on the clock, he decides to kick the ball back to Fiji. And he kicked it out on the full. So Fiji literally just gained like 50 meters from this stupidity by Liam Williams. He should have just held on to the ball and, run the clock down and allowed his team to run the clock down and, and then just closed out the game. No, he kicked that away. So Fiji was able to, run themselves in a good position from that and just pounded the Welsh all the way to the try line, drawn all the defenders in, wide open. Who was it? Naya Stavelu? Who was it? That was the number... It was Semi Radjandra. Yeah, Semi Radjandra was wide out on the wing, by himself, wide open. The pass goes through and the ball was a little bit short, bounces on the ground, straight towards him, to the chest. He probably just took his eyes off the ball for 1 split second. The ball ricocheted off his chest and knocked on. Oh my god, you can just feel the hearts of all the Fijian fans at the stadium drop. You can feel like it was like, wow, one of the most devastating moments I've ever seen. It was absolutely brutal. Knocks on the ball and Wales held on to their lead and won the game. And then also there was an interesting part of the game where Dan Bigger, my hero, by the way, he was yelling abuse at his teammates at halftime. That was caught by the cameras, and it was just brutal. I couldn't believe it. He was just screaming the F word at everybody. George North, he was screaming at George North because at halftime, Fiji was pounding the trial and trying to score, and Wales gets the ball turnover. Instead of just kicking the ball out, they were just like trying to run the ball, counterattack for 95 meters, and this attempt to run 95 meters, basically Dan Bigger pooped his own pants, all right? And the ball was knocked on, the referee called it up, and Dan Bigger was just screaming at his teammates. Why didn't you just kick the ball out? He was not happy. So this was not the first time we saw Dan Bigger, yelling abuse at his teammates. In the Six Nations this year, he was yelling abuse at Rio Dyer. Dyer essentially was hesitant in what he was doing. Dyer is quite a new player, a winger, a new player. It's only a few test caps under his belt. Rio Dyer threw a ball at him, at a Bigger, when he should have just kicked it out. Very hesitant, and Bigger gets the ball and he shanks the kick under pressure. As he wasn't expecting Dyer to pass the ball to him, he was kind of just expected him to kick the ball out, and Bigger was just screaming at Dyer, it was pretty brutal, to a rookie. But yeah, this was straight at George North. George North has 100 test caps, I think, or close to 100, if not. And Bigger was just scraping into him. I mean, that was brutal. But hey, Bigger did make up for it in the second half, setting up a 50-22 from a quick turnover, and then allowed that 50-22 to convert into a basically the match-winning try, looking back at it, to extend the lead beyond Fijians' reach. Yeah, that was really good from Bigger to make up for that. But so, a bit of a yelling, a bit of a screaming, sometimes can work to your favors, and Bigger has proved that he did that today. So yeah, with that being said, let's have a look at some of the interesting stuff this game. The match stats, 4 tries apiece. Both teams gets bonus points, so Fijian actually gets 2 bonus points for losing within 7, and for losing within 7, and for getting 4 tries. So they get 2 bonus points, which is quite huge. So I'm worried that Australia may get eliminated, but yeah, we'll see. So 16 turnovers conceded by Fiji. Yeah, that was really, really well done by Welsh to turn over to force a lot of the turnovers, to force a lot of those handling errors. The defense has drastically improved under Wales. Warren Gatland really turned the team around. If this was the Welsh team in Six Nations, they would have lost this game by a lot. The defense is day and light between the Welsh team today and the Welsh team at the Six Nations. And only 16 turnovers considered against the Fijians, 7 against Welsh, 650 rugby to Fiji's 378 for Wales. The defense, like I said, 248 tackles Welsh has made. They were just absolutely worked their ass off for this game. 33 missed tackles only. That's, you think that 33 might be high, but the fact that they make 248 tackles is actually quite impressive. Fiji, 70 tackles, made 23 missed tackles, actually on the lower end in terms of the completion rate. 24 kicks in play. Dan Bigger managed that quite well. Fiji, 16 kicks themselves. Not really known for their kicking game. Conversions, again, with Caleb Muntz injured, Fiji really hurt themselves a lot, not having a reliable goal kicker. There was a penalty right at the start where Teddy Teller missed, and then I think there was one conversion that's missed. I think there was Frank Lamani took over the kicking a bit, and Lamani missed one as well, one of the conversions for Fiji. But yeah, Dan Bigger also missed a couple. He wasn't perfect either in those goal kicks. One of the goal kicks should have been a gimme for him. Again, pretty much on the right hand side, slight angle. He missed that, and he missed the conversion as well. In the lineouts, both teams were pretty decent. I thought the Welsh definitely did a lot more work in their set piece, so they actually look a lot better in their set piece, and Welsh actually had the confidence to back the lineouts. Fijians as well, massive improvements in the lineouts as always, and then they showed off the more. Two teams actually matched up quite well in terms of the rolling more, and to something that you kind of expected that Welsh would have a bit of an advantage, but it wasn't the case. Scrummaging as well, Fijians actually had more scrum dominance in the second half. I was very impressed by the scrummaging by the Fijians. The Welsh wasn't really able to get any sort of advantage over the Fijians. And in fact, there were penalties given out right in front of the goal line. Fiji went for the scrum option instead of the lineouts, just to show how much confidence they've developed over that scrum. And look at this. 17 penalties from Wales. 17. Only 1 yellow card. Really, really poor referee. Should have been more yellow cards and especially when these penalties were conceded right in front of the try line. Yeah. Fiji gets 1 yellow card for the cynical sacking of the maul. That is the right decision, but the referee, being English, being a Brit, quite biased towards Welsh in that regard. So let's have a look at some of the moments of the game. 4 tries apiece. So Wales actually got off in a really good start, really showing they might have turned around the corner. They got a penalty right away. Bigger kicks that, immediately gets the scoreboard ticking, 3 points to nil. The Fiji was under a lot of pressure right away early game. Telly Tera was able to get a turnover 5 minutes short from their own try line before stifling Welsh attack. But a couple of minutes later, the Welsh gets himself in the front foot again. They were just pounding the advantage line and then got right into the Fijian 22. The ball comes out, a flat pass from Bigger to his center, George North. And George North, another flat, pinpoint accurate pass to, what's his name? It was a flat pass to Tompkins, I think it was. And then Tompkins passed to North. North rumbles down center field. The ball comes back out. Eventually, Bigger gets the ball again, and it was a flat ball from Bigger to Liam Williams. And Liam Williams gets another flat ball out to Josh Adams into the corner for Wales' first try on the ball. Bigger misses one from the sideline. 8 points to nil for the Welsh. So 10 minutes into the game, the Fijians gets a penalty. They missed the 3 points, but Bigger was just screaming at his teammates, already giving him a bit of a spray. This was only 10 minutes into the game. He was not happy about how his teammates handled this and giving away this penalty. 30 minutes into the game, the Fijians gets their first try on the board. So it all started with the number 13, Naya Kalevu. He actually gets a really sloppy pass from his teammates. The ball actually bounces off the ground. He scoops it up, runs through a bit of a gap, and then he offloads the ball to his center, Semi Radradra. And then Radradra just runs straight through. Both Wainwright and Bigger misses this tackle. He just pumps through both of them. And then as he's running through and it's getting covered up on a fullback, he passes infield to Frank Lomani. Oh, sorry. He just runs straight through, actually, for this try. And Frank Lomani takes over the kicking and gets this one, 8 points to 7. So, Bigger for yelling so much crap at his teammates, he didn't quite make this tackle himself. 16 minutes into the game, Fiji takes the lead. There was another line break for Fijians, and there was, again, Naya Salevu runs straight through the Welsh defense, and he offloads to Rajandra, and then Rajandra runs through again, and then he gets the... what happened here? I think Rajandra scores this one. Yeah, and he offloads again to his number 7, I think it was. Yeah, number 7, Tagi Tagilavu, who goes in for the second try for the Fijians. 8 points to 14. 23 minutes into the game, there's a penalty for Wales. Bigger pumps this one 40 meters out. 11 points to 14, gets himself back in reach. 27 minutes into the game, Wales back themselves in their line-out options, realizing that they probably can't win this match with just kicking 3 points. They go for the corner, and then they just build a lot of pressure. The ball goes out to center field. Tompkins and George North, shoulder to shoulders, little pop to George North, and George North cuts through a gap opened in the center field and gets the second try on the board for Wales. Just nice little pass by Tompkins, just delay the pass a little bit, giving that space for George North. 18 points to 14 for Welsh. The 34 minutes into the game, the Fijians gets an opportunity to go for a penalty, but they decides to go for the line out. They went for the line out. They pound the try line, and then one of the Fijians went over the try line. It looked like he scored, but I'm pretty sure the rule is that if the ball touches the ground and there's no separation between the hand, it's a try. So there was no separation, but the TMO said there was no pressure. He did lose the ball, right? But TMO said he didn't actually press the ball down. That was the decision, even though there was no separation when the ball touched the ground. But the TMO deemed that there was no, the player didn't actually press the ball down to the ground, which I don't understand how that even means. If you're touching the ball and the ball touches the ground, surely that's a try. You don't have to, because you don't have to actually press the ball down anymore. I'm pretty sure that's not even a thing anymore. But the TMO says he didn't actually place the ball. I thought that was a pretty bad decision from him, and that was therefore that was a no try by Fiji. So there was a high tackle by Frank Lomani on, I think it was on, who was it on? It was on, I think it was with Josh Adams. No, it was on Gareth Davies. From behind, Davies was ducking. Could have been a yellow card if there was a Nick Berry was on the field, but there was no yellow card. I think that was the right decision because Gareth did really slip really low for this high tackle to occur. Just the penalty. 40-minute mark, again, just before halftime. Like I said, Fiji was pounding the try line, really trying to get a try on the board. And Wales is just hanging on by a thread. The ball gets turned over by Welsh just before the try line. And they decide to counter attack for 95 meters. Bigger gets extremely angry, starts screaming the F word at everybody, and just got straight up to George North's face. And as he's walking on the field, just saying like the F word right in front of the camera. It was really, really, really good. Yeah, gonna miss you, Bigger. You're gonna be retiring after this World Cup. Anyway, second half starts. The Bigger gets an early penalty a minute into the game. This was a quite easy kick, and Bigger misses this one. Following this missed kick, the Welsh actually gets themselves in a good position. So 47 minutes into the second half, Wales gets a scrum penalty. They were just putting pressure on the Fijian attack line. They were scrambling a little bit. There was a lot of like loose ball. The ball goes out to Jack Morgan, the number 7, who is also the captain. He decides to do a crossfield kick to Reece Zammit. The kick was it was okay, but it wasn't really getting to Zammit. One of the Fijian players tries to catch it and he knocks the ball on, and Zammit actually scoops up the loose ball and scores the try. So it all worked out for Wales with this Jack Morgan crossfield. Wales is just massively feeling a lot of momentum after this. There was a massive hit from Josh Adams, and it was just there was a lot of ascendancy feeling at this moment for the Fijians. The Fiji, however, was able to turn this one around. 59 minutes, a lot of repeated penalties. They were piling in, piling into the Welsh 22 tap and goes. They went for just about everything. There was tap and goes. I think they went for a scrum as well. This was all right in front of the post. It was 4 penalties in a row. Referee still no yellow card. Gives a warning after 4 penalties. This was really, really, really bad. Fiji just tap and go. Eventually, again, they charged through and looked like they they're about to score, but they're knocked on just before the try line. So then the ball. The Fiji knocks on. Welsh gets the ball. They actually counter attacks. Bigger made a really quick decision to punt the ball down the field, and he went for a 50-22. So that was really well done. Welsh sets this ball up for a maul. The maul was marching forward. Well, like I said, went for 20 meters, and then it was sacked by Fijians, and the referee immediately issues a yellow card for cynical sacking the maul. And then Wales just go for the maul again with the player missing. Wales gets this one 32 points to 14. Fiji gets himself back on the front foot 67 minutes into the game, and then immediately Wales give us away the penalty for not allowing the Fiji, and then gives away a penalty, and Fijian takes a quick tap, and Wales was able to disrupt the quick tap and then gets themselves sent off. So again, referee finally pulls the trigger after so many penalties was given out. 72 minutes into the game, there was a big scrum by Fijians, and it looked like Wales could have given away the penalty for, again, giving away more penalties, and it looked like this scrum could have just gone through for a penalty try, but the referee just stopped and didn't issue a card. So it was really, really, really bizarre. But eventually, Fiji was able to settle the scrum, and then the ball goes out to Tuisova, who charges through for Fiji's third try. 74 minutes of the game, the Fiji's chasing the game now with the Wales with a play in the bin. Teddy Teller was trying to find touch with a penalty that was given out. Again, no yellow card, and he fails to find touch. Luckily, the Welsh return kick wasn't that good, so Fiji still have an opportunity to attack. And then 76 minutes into the game, the Fiji, again, just pounding the try line, a lot of hard crash balls. And then eventually, I think Fijian actually scored here, right? So they were crashing ball, and then I think it was Donge or one of the props that went over. Then the referee said it was try on the field. Went for the TMO to see if he can, overrule the decision. TMO said no clear indication that the try wasn't scored. But the referee on the field says, hang on, go back to the replay again. And he watched the replay, and the ball carrier had one of his knee on the ground. And then he propelled himself forward. And the referee deemed that a double movement, which I think should be allowed, because you're allowed to place the ball once you're tackled. But the referee deemed that it was propelling forward, which was illegal. And then, that was a declined try. But it doesn't matter. He wasn't going to photo Fiji. They go for a quick tap again. And then they just rumble through. Again, Wales giving away more penalties. Referee issues another warning instead of giving out a yellow card here. So there was multiple penalties given out. And then only a warning. So eventually the Fijians was rumbling again. And then it was Donge who finally gets himself rumbled through for the try for Fiji. They missed the conversion here, but it was, it doesn't matter. They still need to score as converted try anyway. So they try to run the full length of the field. Like I said, 79 minutes. Lomani gets the kickoff and kick it straight back to Liam Williams. And everybody's, disappointment, thought this game was over. And Liam Williams did the best thing possible for Fiji. He kicks the ball back. And he kicks the ball out on the full. So Fiji has a line out for inside the Welsh half. And then just build pressure. So many faces. And eventually, like I said, Narendra was wide open on the wing. The ball hits him on the chest. Knock on. No try. A knock on. Game over. Wide open try line in front of him. And it's going to be looking quite tough for Fiji. All the Wallabies to make out of the pool now with Wales winning this game. And it's going to be tough. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate you watching my videos. And let me know your thoughts on this game. Let me know your thoughts on the referee. I really didn't think that was good. And thank you for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.